Welcome to EFTM, and today's question is, can you trust smartphone mapping?
Well, they're so easily available these days. Just download them. They appear on your smart device. It's as simple as that. But you're right. Can you trust them? How accurate are they these days?
The thing is, they are built into phones now too. You can't get a phone that doesn't have them. Plus, there's the additional ones, which we'll run through. But I think the number one question, as you've just said, is can you trust them? And I just think maybe 5 years ago, it was a bit of a challenge. But these days, they are very reliable, because not just do they have every street. You know, you used to have a Refidex or a UBD, and obviously it went out of date as soon as someone built a road. Then we had physical sat-nav units you'd buy, the ones that are built into cars, and you'd have to get a new card every year.
Or a CD-ROM.
For the maps.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so actually, accuracy-wise, like Google and Apple and the rest have got it made, because the maps are fully up to date. So that's the most important thing about trust, is they are up to date.
But I find the real-time information, obviously, is the most handy thing about these apps. And to be honest, I've never really used them. You really got me onto them, in particular one called Waze. Now, Waze is fantastic. I've used Google Maps, I've used Apple Maps, but Waze gives you information such as where the police are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's allowed, but it does allow you as a Wazer to
You're a Wazer!
Mark a spot and tell
that.
other Wazers where police are.
So think about it, right? Google and Apple are the core kind of map apps, and then Waze is actually now owned. It was independent originally. It's owned by Google, so it now has a lot of the Google information.
Yeah.
So if you look at that data and you say, well, Google and Apple know where traffic is fast and slow, not just because the transport info centers provide some information, but because everyone's phones are in their cars and they use that information to find out how fast traffic is flowing. But you're right, Waze goes one step further. Waze has input information from users. Wazers.
I'm a Wazer.
And so you're on your phone, and let's be clear, this can be on Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
You don't have to touch your phone.
Not at all.
Obviously, it's illegal.
And you're driving along and you go, there's a hazard on the side of the road, there's a car pulled over, there's a police, there's an accident, whatever it is. And it's that information that makes Waze, in my opinion, the most accurate mapping solution available on a smartphone.
I found it's extremely accurate in metropolitan areas where there's more Wazers or more people available to provide the information in real time. Roadworks accidents, they come up pretty much 95% of the time as accurate. In rural areas, not so much so, but you'd expect that. But other things like Google Maps and, let's look at Google Maps. My wife is a huge user of Google Maps every day for her 60-kilometre, trip to work. The route it will take her on some mornings, like I wouldn't even have known those roads existed, but it works every time.
And that's the thing; it changes every day. Traffic changes every day. Yes, we know the hot spots, we know where it's good and bad, but it changes every day based on the day's situation, which is why I use it all the time, right? So I go to the same place. I don't actually go many places. I go to like Channel 9, I go to Your Money, different places in the city. So they're my longest drives. I use them to go to those places, even though I know there's really only 2 or 3 ways to go there. Waze, for example, knows better than anyone where there's a crash or where there's things being slowed down. The other day, I literally second-guessed Waze, and I went, no, what are you talking about? Of course I'm going to go that way. No, bus broken down.
Exactly.
Right near the old entertainment centre, and it added 15 minutes to my journey.
Yeah, you can make that crucial mistake, particularly with Google Maps, where it says, take this route, it'll save you an extra, say, just 2 minutes. And it literally does. So every time that sort of reminder comes up or notification, just take it. Just take it. It works.
And for people that have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto built into their cars, which is, a lot of modern cars, download these apps, and they appear as one of the options there. In Android Auto, it's an extra mapping option. In Apple CarPlay, it's another icon to choose. But it's all integrated. It's paired back in terms of what you can do, because obviously it's touch screen activated while you're driving. So, mate, I just think in 2019, you're mad if you've got a smartphone and you're driving and you're not taking advantage of that information.
I'll tell you what's interesting. I just finished writing an article about the new Nissan Pathfinder, or not real new Nissan Pathfinder. It's been around for about 8 years.
It's 8-year-old Nissan Pathfinder with new tech,
But it's been updated again. But the base model still doesn't have satellite navigation, but who cares?
No.
I mean, it's made manufacturers in-car satellite navigation almost redundant, these apps.
I don't know why you'd need that, other than you think you're going to not have your phone with you, because you don't need mobile service. You can download maps onto your phone. And the other thing is, when I get in a professional driver's car, whether you're a taxi driver or otherwise, an Uber even, and you ignore the maps, guys, if you're not using the maps, you're costing your customers extra money, and that I don't think is good customer service.
Just before we go, I'll put it on you, Trev. Apple Maps, Google Maps, there's always that discussion.
If I was only choosing between Apple and Google, I'd go Apple, no dramas. I have no problems with it at all. I'm using an Android phone at the moment, so Google Maps is default, but my true tip to everyone is download Waze. It is exceptional.
So where are we going?
We're going to go over here.
Right.
We're going to end up there.
Is that a copper?
And I don't want to break it. We're just going to end up keeping going around and around and around.
Catch you
later.
later.
Take us in circles.
Bye. I think it was all right.
Yeah, I don't know.